This is my first-person shooter game, which takes heavy inspiration from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. To develop my game, I broke the game down into modules. These became the basis of the development as seen here by this Gantt chart. It has some interesting features which will be explained within the video. Today we will be talking about the weapon script, the animation, aiming down sights, UI, and sound manager. So let's get started. The weapon script here is what causes the entire game to work together, and this is completed through a multitude of different ways. But here we will just talk about the shooting. When the left mouse button is pressed down, it will start the function fire weapon. When the weapon is fired, it calls upon the muzzle effect that is made in the inspector, and plays the recoil animation. Then decreases the number of bullets left by however many bullets left per fire. This can be changed using the enumerator shooting mode, which has three options: automatic, burst, and single. Burst is customizable. It then makes the gun unable to shoot for a small amount of time, creates the bullet, spread, and shooting direction. The spread is customizable. And then destroy the bullet if it does not hit anything. That is what happens in layman's terms. Here is an example. All animations on all 15 guns are custom made. No animations are from the asset store. And here's how the animations work. There is an idle animation, which is the base. It is a hip recoil, which uses the trigger recoil in all capitals. Reload, using reloading in all capitals. There are parameters. Using the trigger, enter ADS, will move the gun to the aim down sights idle position. Exit ADS takes the gun back to the hip idle position. When in ADS, recoil for ADS in all capitals with no spaces, trigger, is used then, the gun plays a different recoil animation. There is also sprinting, which uses similar triggers to the ADS triggers and holsters the gun while sprinting. ADS, aim down sights, replaces the crosshair for the sights attached to the gun, which then gives the gun more accuracy and less recoil, and causes the player to have a reduced field of view. Well, this will be implemented in later editions. This is done by pressing down the right mouse button and holding it down while you want to aim down sights. The UI fills in both the center of the screen for the crosshair and the bottom right of the screen for some information on what the player is doing, such as changing the weapon icon through the weapon model enumerator in the weapon script, which changes the icon that is being used with the UI, as well as the ammunition icon, which also changes with the weapon, but not all guns use the same ammunition. The bullet counter is also changed using the weapon script, as it is called for using a float called bullets left, which is updated after every bullet shot. The sound manager also uses a script and makes sure each gun has their own sounds. These are ripped straight out of the sound library of COD 4 and are called for using a switch. This switch, which also uses the weapon model enumerator, checks what gun is being used at the time and plays the respective sound effect. Each gun is slightly different and we use different sound effects. Using the switch, all gunfire sounds are run on the same audio source channel, known as shooting channel. There is also an empty chamber sound, which only works when the gun is out of ammunition and has not reloaded yet, and of course, the reload sound. In conclusion, the real innovation in this game was the cases of singletons that were being called upon within the different scripts. A singleton is a script that can stand alone, which is entirely the point, and that can be called upon by other scripts. Each singleton was used to format a module, from the UI to the sound to picking up weapons, hopefully in the future. This built with clever logic shows my astute computational thinking skills and was able to form a working basis for an indie first-person shooter title. The use of singletons, etc. enables the player to listen to different sounds, see unique weapon and animation icons through the weapon enumerator. This creates my game that has almost all of the basic functions that were planned for implementation.